嗨，大家好，这里是游戏通，我们继续我们的 Disco Elysium。我发现哈，我们来到了应该是要接近摊牌了。这一群人呢，我现在主要有一个攻破的点啊，我讲一下。
It's you again. What is it?
这里有一个攻破的点了哈，很重要，就是争强好胜。这争强好胜哈，我现在目前是胜率是42，在我这原本有很多个选项啊，然后我都一直去跟他聊啦，比如说你是不是有干毒品啊，还是怎么样啊？我就是让他知道我知道很多事情之后呢，这个他就开始增加了。你看，比如说我讲到，你看这个上面有绿色的数字+1+1+2+1。也就是说他一开始我这一个检定是几率是非常低的，但是呢，我一直讲说，你们是不是有搞毒品啊？你们的第7个人是不是一个女的啊？我跟你说哦，那么你杀死那个人，有人要来复仇咯。我告诉你哦，我还有一个目击者哦。当我这些对话都一一呈现出来的时候呢，这胜率就一直提高，来到了42%。然后我最后一张王牌就是说，我跟你说哦，脑袋里面有一颗子弹哦，我这个讲下去的话，他们就完了，对不对？所以说我觉得这是游戏的转折点。这个东西一旦打破了之后呢，我相信游戏来到了我这个检定一旦攻克之后，游戏一定来到了下半场。好。但是我们先不要跟他那么快解决哦。但是在今天这个游戏里面的今天，我一定会跟他做一个了断。这有2个流氓在看我的车，我觉得很不爽。我现在就跟他讲，怎么样
That's one brutal motor carriage.
If I were a real skull now, I'd jack it, paint it in palm tree livery, then bottom light it, neon style.
A snazzy shit-ripped skullmobile like this would make a fine trophy. We could, like, hang fucking shrunken heads from the side mirrors. Cops' heads. Scary tribal shit.
Yeah, tribal shit. A cop carriage like this would have proper skull value.
While I appreciate the interest you take in my brutal motor carriage, I have to stop you right there. The RCM takes threats directed at its property seriously.
It's just theoretical work, Copper. No basis in reality.
theoretical
If we were certified skulls right now...
theory
Skulls. Now there's a strong organizational title.
你们是谁啊？什么 skull？
I can tell you who we're not, cop. We're not snitches or skulls.
Snitch.
Which is not to say that the skulls are bitches and... On the contrary...
The part of this presentation you want to take home...
Okay then, let's indulge in...
等一下啊，我要重新读取进度。因为我不想要用警探了，因为我现在有充能，有一个叫充能的啊，这个已经快要到了，我不想要用这个能力值，我现在留着它。继续来跟这些废物，这很奇怪，他都一定要走到一个定点。
That's...
If I were... Yeah.
Skulls. Now...
I can tell you who we're...
Which is not to say that the skull...
The part of this presentation you want to take home with you, Cockman, is... We're not part of the skulls. Yet.
Okay then, let's indulge in some intellectual exchange. These young men seem eager to share their beliefs.
好吧，你们既然那么想说，你们就说吧。
You don't know? What kind of cop are you?
It's not a question. Don't get into it.
The question was rhetorical. The Skulls are the most vicious gang of the Besmertne.
Besmatine, or the Besmati, the Immortals, are West Rivisholian crime syndicates.
Best 犯罪组
The
织
nastiest bunch of psychos ever. Jacking carriages and getting into high-speed chases.
hijack
Possessing an infinite amount of fuck-all swagger, infamous for their nonverbal modus operandi.
nonverbal.
If a skull spots you, he will pull out his dagger and stab you without saying a word.
Stab.
The lieutenant's voice is as calm as usual, a testament to the violence and death he's witnessed through the sight of his firearm.
They usually occupy the burnt-out quarter in Jamrock, or you can find them loitering around their brightly painted bottom-lighted vehicles.
飙车族就对了。
I can't wait to become a skull. Bottom lights are wretched aggressive. Murder? Yeah, sure. We'll gladly tell you everything we know about it.
It was also, he was hanged. He was hanged from a tree.
Yeah, I mean, duh.
These punks don't know anything. Let's just move along.
Hey, stop right there. How does one know?
Ah, this sounds like epistemology, a field so occupied by thought that it begins to question thought itself.
Exactly. How can one know shit? For example, how can one be sure that there truly is a body hanging behind a hostel?
What if it's art? Or just a mere specter?
命仅仅是 specter。
Maybe it's true. The hanged man is merely a prop in a performance. We are the audience, and the artist is hiding somewhere in the dark. No reply. The blonde rebel scratches his chin, deliberately not focusing his gaze on anything.
Nope.
Don't tell him that. Skulls don't tattle, man. Cindy wouldn't.
这个骷髅头辛迪哦，
No. A different Cindy. From out of town. She doesn't know shit about armored gloves, that's for sure.
很可疑哦。
He did mean Cindy the Skull. All right, we have a lead on the gloves.
What about them? Well, first off, it's a statement and not necessarily something that characterizes me as a person, even though the statement has character. And I do like piss.
OK，
The word piss epitomizes the struggle taking place in the world. Things being defined as they seem, not as they are. And, I guess, it's also about communal spirit, the future, and truly appreciating our differences. Also, you've got to admit, it catches the eye. And since the Grand Piper is slowly but steadily moving towards basing the economy on it, attention, it is imperative that the
Slowly
media
but
itself convey
surely.
the message. What I mean by this is, we are all pissed, and that the world is inherently meaningless.
It seems that the young man has a certain expertise in at least one field, even if it's rather narrow.
就是这个年轻人还是挺有想法的。
Like I said before, many men keep searching for the one, for so-called true love, which is actually just obsession masquerading as kinship. The thrill of the chase. The hollowness that fills your chest cavity after catching it.
I'm wondering if the poetics come with the jacket, or are they derived from something else entirely?
To catch a fish, you'll need to hurl the lure many times, and even then it isn't certain that you'll get anything. If you blow up the lake, though, you get more fish in a shorter time. And, for time is of the essence and fleeting ever so quickly, one must think of a way to fuck the whole world and not get caught up in fucking someone.
OK， 就是代表爱一个人其实是很偏执的哈，这并不是一个正常的状况，你应该是好，就要博爱的意思哈。这个人的这个夹克写的就是要博爱，好博爱。
Because when one fucks everything, he fucks nothing, and that, to me, feels glorious. Sticking your dick into the void.
看这个一些不良少年讲话，竟然讲的这么老庄思想，我的天哪
Hate to admit it, but in a weird way, he's got a point.
对啊，那这个飙车少年竟然会有这个东方的这种虚无的老庄思想，我的就这有点奇怪呀！天哪，这里面的人是不是太有水平了？随便一个人都很有思想是怎么样
Is it a coincidence that here we have 2 badass jackets and 2 badass cops?
Yes? What is? What are you implying? I'm not sure I understand you, Detective. Neither. Fine, if only to end this discussion. Theoretically, if I were a juvenile delinquent, if I were to already be down that path, I think peace is the stronger of the two statements.
Theoretically.
Seems about right, especially considering your heroic exit attempts.
That's an origin story for a dynamic duo right there.
So are we done here? Or you don't need us around for your secret whisper party, do you?
疑神疑鬼，疑神疑鬼啊！疑神疑鬼是什么东西？疑神疑鬼是体格啊，体格哦。我先看衣服，我有什么疑神疑鬼的衣服呢？疑神疑鬼啊，手套先疑神疑鬼一下。疑神疑鬼的裤子，我天啊，这太强了！衣服太多也不好啊，每次都要这样寻一次。哇，这疑神疑鬼的 Jackie， 我操！啊，哪些是妨碍疑神疑鬼的呢？没有吧？这样子我疑神疑鬼来到加4了嘞。
That ride is
Hey, piss.
如果我来到83啊，储存一下哈，一定可以赢的啊。疑神疑鬼啊！我干脆来喝点药好了。那我100%的可以搞定啊。体能、体格啊，减1士气耶。这个啦，直接喝这个瓶就好了。这样子我疑神疑鬼。
Hey, piss.
92啊，我赢
Look
了
who。it is.
No, no, no. Don't ask anything. Be subtle and scary. The boys dream about being skulls. Use that.
What? No! Skulls don't have kings. I think. And we're not even in yet.
Yeah, man, keep your voice down. Skulls don't take it lightly when folks pretend to be them. We're not even prospects yet.
Prospect. Prospect.
Prospect must be a hierarchical term, probably in the lower end.
Wow, you boys are ambitious. Only prospects and already planning a coup in the skulls. You're destined to go far.
He gets it. Passive-aggressive flattery.
Shut the fuck up! Are you trying to get us killed?
Now bring it to the jackets and, yes, start shouting.
Please be quiet. What? What do you want? The jackets?
对啦，
Fuck you, man. Take them then. Oh, man. Okay, I get it. Skulls don't really wear slogans anyway. This was stupid.
Fuck.
太好笑了啦！
The lieutenant watches the boys take their jackets off with mild amusement.
Mildly amusement。 我想要
I'm absolutely okay with not having either one, thank you. I already am expressing my individuality.
I'm not. I don't have a jacket.
Good. I wanted you not to express...
Cold-hearted cop.
Do. I'm fine with that.
The jackets are meant to complete each other. If a man was standing alone on a street corner with "piss" written on his back, it'd just be an individual that has taken a liking to you, right? And "fuck the world" all on its own is, frankly, generic.
真的吗？
I don't know, Eric. It's cold out.
Yeah, let's get out of here. The cops fucked us.
太好笑了啦！你看，疑神疑鬼加一，妈的，我现在就疑神疑鬼了啦！哎，故弄玄虚，不好不好。现在已经10点了，我打电话去问一下，到底可不可以这个
Inside, we see
图
a
书
set of
馆啊？
steering levers, a radio microphone.
图书馆的那个人啊，
57, how may I assist you? Hold on, officer. I've got Central Jamrock Public Library on the line, and I've already introduced you to their librarian. Connecting the call in 2, 1.
Yes, this is Central Jamrock Public Library here. How can I help you, officer? Billy Majon, you said. Give me a moment, I'll have to check our database.
On Moreau Drive in central Jamrock, in a darkened hall lit by orange desk lamps far away from the noise outside, a middle-aged man taps commands into an old radio computer. A printout falls on the desk. Behind him, a lonely reader scours some dusty bookshelves, looking for a paperback.
Yes, hello, are you still there? I found Billy Majon's home address, is that alright? No phone number, unfortunately.
OK，
They're too poor to have a phone line.
Here we go, sir. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33B, apartment number 20. It's in Martinez, I believe. Capeside Apartments, it says.
OK， 就在那边了哈，我知道了，我知道了。
That's where the smoker on the balcony lives, isn't it?
It says here that they returned their last book just a few days ago, but I wasn't at work that day. Marie? Marie? Do you remember a reader named Billy Majon? They returned a Tybalt book the other day.
Maurice, what? A woman yells. Then, yes. Okay, if it was the police, she starts explaining.
Yes, it was my colleague Marie. She said that it was Billy's husband who returned the book. He also asked for this new sci-fi release, Lowe's Radio City 87, but we don't have it.
Lowe's Radio City? That's the same book the working class woman was reading at the bookstand.
真的哦，真的还假的？那个女工人，所以
Marie knows Billy. She's been working here longer than me. Sometimes her husband returns some books for her. Sorry, no. Marie only knows him by sight. Marie? She said it was an older man, and that she's pretty sure he'd had a drink or two the last time she saw. Sorry, Marie wasn't really paying any attention to that. Happy we could help. Goodbye, officer.
Anything else you need from me? Still no word, I'm afraid, sir. 57.
In the cabin, you see.
好了，查一个鞋子都查不到。我是大忙人了哈，我现在要去，他说这个骷髅的新弟啊，他知道那个装备的事情啊。
What do I care about some fucking tin eggshells?
盔甲难道不是艺术吗？
All right, Piggy. I'll give you this one. I saw a little girl in the fishing village running around with military-grade handwear. Look cute as hell.
Glove.
Could that girl have been little Lily? It's not a bad place to start.
Could have been her, small kid with giant white armored hands. If you've seen one of them, you've seen them all.
There weren't any other small girls in the village.
OK， 你这样啦，我不跟你扯啊。这里面是不是有什么东西啊？这有一间是不是有一间是可以那个的、啊？这里面没人啊！干，等一下，这是什么东西、啊？这什么？间接式征税+1。哎干，间接式征税+1耶！间接式征税+1，我到底要不要搞？这一间吗？这是那个、啊、Piggy 的呢，上去吧。这一间吗？
A weathered brown door. The number reads 20. Something smells good. Soup allongio. The lieutenant motions to you to go ahead and knock.
我先存档啊。
A weathered brown. Something smells. The lieutenant motions to you to go ahead and knock.
You're right. Let's talk this through.
You hear some light footsteps and what appears to be a daily weather forecast playing on the radio.
We have our first preliminary identification. In all likelihood, the deceased is the husband of Billy Méjean. We need to confirm this, as well as deliver the death notification. Now, delivering a death notification is never an easy task. There's a reason why it's often called the most stressful part of our job. This is why it's usually done in pairs. You got this. I'll be monitoring reactions, ready to act if necessary. Dad, just don't say that you know how they feel. You don't.
真的是这样子哦，这是一个经验谈诶。
Yes, it's hard. But there is no easy way to handle this information. It just has to happen, as soon as possible.
而且越快越好啊。
The lieutenant motions towards the door.
Hello? Who is it?
And someone turns down the radio.
The police. A moment, please give us a moment.
Tidying up, nervously.
Come in, the door.
泰理啊，真理，是你啊。真的还假的？好可怜哦。为什么呢？觉得这里感觉很 cozy 耶，很温暖啊。有2个孩子哎，觉得很好啊，这里很好哎。
It's you from the book stand. Did you come to bring my cockatoo back? I don't think I introduced myself properly. I'm Billy. Would you like something to drink? Tea, lemonade? We're out of coffee.
你应该要站起来讲话。
The lieutenant has taken off his foggy glasses and is busy cleaning them in his handkerchief for now. Your condensation from stepping inside.
Is this about Victor, my husband? Is he in some kind of trouble again?
维克多，
I can come pick him up in the station if that's what. No, this is something much worse. Is he in the hospital? How bad is it?
How about some small talk before you break the news? It's like ripping off a bandage. The least painful way is to do it straight away, without stalling.
通达情理，通达情理啊！我这个哈、一定要处理的好啊，一定要通达情理啊！什么是通达情理啊？现在通达情理有没有已经有一个+1了啊！这个通达情理一定要顾好啊！一定要通达情理。鞋子啊，通达情理。没有啦，通达情理。我体格通达情理是心智的啊。我看一下哈，是不是有烟可以抽啊？哈。抽烟就是通达情理的样子啊。心是什么？是心智哎，心智啊，这个啦，试试看啊。你看这个有时候它就不行。你要先拿下来，变成空手之后呢，然后你再装上去，这是一个 bug， 现在才可以啊，这是 bug 啊。 你怎么连这个东西都做不好呢？这个游戏已经出多久了？这个东西还没有修啊！通达情侣上升了，精神就是心智。我现在通达情侣是4，道具加2，然后。
She looks up, too anxious to say anything. You've done this before. Just keep your focus.
对啊，直接讲。
What did you say?
A great and terrible spike. The blood freezes in her veins.
唉。
Oh. Oh. But he was just...
But he was just here, alive.
We understand this comes as a huge shock. I want you to know that me and my partner are here for you if you have any questions.
What happened to him? Was he drunk? I see. And you just found him there, lying in the coal. How long had he been there?
If you say 2 days maybe, it will be etched in her mind forever. She blinks, eyes welling up with tears, as her hand starts searching for something from the pockets of the handkerchief.
Yes, thank you.
Is there anyone we could call for you? A friend, a family member, someone who could be here for you?
No, no. I just need to tell my girls.
It burns like acid.
Acid.
Unreal.
God. Should I call them? Should I tell them to come?
No. A day.
Good. That's probably the right thing. Thank you. Just tell me, what do I need to do next? Where is he?
We've taken him to the city morgue. The local coroner will be contacting you shortly to arrange the funeral. Here's his number in case you want to contact him earlier.
A very good call.
Is there anything else that the RCM could do for you?
No, I'll call you if something comes up. I'm still... Thank you. Thank you for telling me. I'll call if...
We should step outside and talk.
You
did well. I'll call the station when we're finished with the day, and let them know the name of the deceased. They'll manage. That's it. We should get back to our case now that our duty here is done. Let's go.
走吧，这个就是这样啊，人生就是这样啊。他妈的，哦，这里是那里哟。看，这里是那里哟，现在我知道了啦。原来是这样。这里面有人吗？啊？怎么样？ 怎么样？哎，哦，我刚才按到右键是不是？没事就对了。啊。好，我们来找小女孩哦。我这边来找她的手套，但是还有头盔啊。我觉得头盔是不是很……哎，这里真的是很温暖又安全的 ，cozy and firm。
Hello, Mister.
我说你这个手套是不是有这个
Oh, I had gloves. Very big ones. Heavy, too.
Where did you get these gloves?
Found them when Lemmy and I were playing hide and seek. In an empty house. Where no one lives. I think...
She doesn't want you to think she stole them.
I hid them. The twins were gonna take them. They're stupid.
We are going to need those gloves. It's for important police business.
Oh. They're in my sandcastle. Behind our house.
Okay.
Under the sand. You can break the castle. It's not very good. Bye!
Okay.
Is that the phasmid? It looks like the phasmid, leaning against the wall. It's not the phasmid. It's not even organic. It's a fire iron. How disappointing, right?
Static. 这里吗？好，这里哈。
Weather has not been kind to let the walls and floors give way to the giant's greed.
Congratulations.
干这个手套啊，+2的能工巧匠，超强的啊，超强，很强啊，这很强哎，很强啊。我们现在有一个任务要做哈，马上要做了，就是这里啊，我们要换这个竹节虫的陷阱。
The trap stands empty. The locusts, dazed from being transported, slowly begin to acclimate to their new surroundings. They're not really going to get the chance to get comfortable here.
Good, now that's done. When do you think we will return to our impending apocalypse of a murder investigation? Don't answer that. It was a rhetorical question.
他在催我啊！但是我这边还有一个人要见啊，因为我们要成立一个委员会，你知道吗？所以我们要成立一个委员会呢，就是要找到一个，这边有一个官员哈，他有一个官员吧。这个官员啊，存档一下，跟这个官员请他帮我们成立这个委员会哈。
As you approach, the man turns and greets you with a polite wave. He appears completely at ease, like a common holidaymaker.
Ah, super. It's the officer. I was not expecting to run into you again, but things have a funny way of turning out, no?
我喜欢他的口音啊。
What brings you down to the scenic Martinez coast? Well, that's Tressa. I was visiting the fishing village just north of here. They have applied for a series of microloans to revitalize the old market. And well, I wish to see the situation firsthand. And then, well, I had some extra time on my hands, so I decided to stroll down here. It's quite peaceful, isn't it? Yes. There's nothing like a stroll along the coast to lift one's spirits.
讲话有点快啊。
Really? Here? How can you be sure? Ah? Is that what those pockmarks are? I might have guessed. Fascinating how much history is contained right here, if only one knows where to look for it.
You feel like there's something you could say here, if only you really knew what was going on.
Ah bon? I'm all ears, officers. My friend, if it's la responsabilité you're after, I have good news for you. There's no need to form such a committee, because it already exists.
God, of course it does. These moral intern types.
Intern.
The Comité de Responsabilité de Revachol, it acts as a sort of clearinghouse for coalition activities. To put it simply, they are the ultimate arbiters of la responsabilité in this part of the world.
Yes, this is just the sort of reasonable authority you're looking for.
I would offer to connect you with the committee myself, but alas, I am not actually in Martinez.
What? Where is he then? He's speaking figuratively. He means he's not in Martinez in his official capacity.
Précisément. Officially, I am still in La Delta, preparing for an upcoming conference on fuel oil derivatives. That's why it would be extremely irregular, or potentially even inappropriate for me to intercede with the committee concerning a district I'm not officially in. I don't mean to discourage you, of course. Just to say that it won't be easy to reach the committee.
Not exactly a model of accessible and accountable governance.
But if you have information of a vital interest, they might be willing to entertain an exception. In which case, I would advise you to contact them via Coalition Warship Archer.
Archer. Archer.
You see, in addition to being an airborne artillery platform, Coalition Warship Archer is also the linchpin of the Coalition's surveillance and communications infrastructure in Revachol.
Fleet, ma.
And listening. It has the most objective vantage point in the entire city. Not to mention a vast array of radio, photographic, and meteorological monitoring instruments. I find it a great comfort to know there are benevolent powers watching over all, in strict accordance with the Wayfarer Act and the Bristol-Mune Convention.
The Bristol-Mune Conventions are a series of international agreements governing the treatment of military personnel and civilians in theaters of war, as well as occupied territories. In practice, they are more talked about than observed.
This is quite the problem. Very tricky. Of course, the Archer has orders to fire on any unidentified aerostatics that might approach it. So it might be safer to get in touch from the ground. But in that case, you would require a radio transmitter capable of broadcasting on coalition frequencies. And that kind of technology naturally isn't typically available for non-coalition use. Yes, it is a bit of a conundrum. I suppose there might be some way to circuit bend your way onto those frequencies, but you'd have to be one of those techno-tinkerers to do it. Unfortunately not, no. I don't have the pleasure. I am merely a representative of the coalition government, not very well versed in technology. but
Sounds like something that programmer we met in the church might be able to help with.
let me just say that I have complete confidence in the RCM. I'm sure you'll figure something. Always my pleasure to be of assistance to the RCM. Godspeed, and if we don't meet again, bonne chance.
我可以直接去，我可以直接跳到那个吗？不行啊，因为我现在不在那个小镇上面。这个官员哈，没彩条啊，这有一瓶子啊，对吧？看不能捡，你还画瓶子干嘛？我来跟他们讲话啊，看他有没有什么鸟事。你知不知道头盔啊？
Hello. Isn't this a fine morning?
哎呀，没事就算了。现在要来到小镇 ，OK， 来到小镇我就可以直接去教堂了，是不是？你帮个忙吧。
Yes, what is it? Do I look like someone who has time for side projects at this moment?
If you want her help, maybe you should help her first.
Yes?
你就找不到啊。
Thanks.
我就找不到那个东西呗。你就没有那个东西呀、好吧，我现在就是要去见老大了啊，直接去见老大。我从哪一条路进去过？我要从哪一条路去比较好？从这里去啊。看这个人一直在上面，然后我就不知道哪里可以过。 而且那里是怎么过去啊？我也是很好奇。这个要怎么？哎，哦，哎干，靠腰啊！这个要怎么上去啊？ 之前不是可以直接跳下去吗？哎，哎，之前不是可以直接跳下去吗？ 啊，走错地方了。死窟呢？哎，我要跟他们回报，我已经装好陷阱了。
An old East Delta Commerce Center. This must be the name of the doomed commercial area.
意志坚定，意志坚定，意志坚定。我有一个叫意志坚定，意志坚定。哎，你老公嘞？我跟你讲一下哈，我已经搞定了。
Hello, dear. Thank you for doing that, dear.
Her smile is weary. Her earlier ebullience has left her.
Morel still isn't feeling well. I convinced him to stay at Gary's to get some rest. I'm afraid the cold has really gotten to him. I'm sorry, dear. You've had to drudge through them so many times. Such is field work. A young person's game, as they say.
Her voice is shaky. What is going on here?
Morel will eventually, or we'll talk Gary into going back out, perhaps.
The lieutenant stares at his shoe, caked in mud. He doesn't say anything.
什么意思啊？
That really is too much, sweetie. Thank you for your dedication, but I can see you're coming down with a cough yourself.
Very strange. Why is she not letting me do this? It's like she's given up.
怎么样啊？
Different? How?
对啊，你没有把完整故事跟我讲啊。
I'm not. It's not bad. It's a strange feeling. I haven't really told this to anyone, but you are a police officer. Do you ever wonder if some lovely story from your childhood is just that? A story? Or a dream?
Yes.
Seeing the Insulindian phasmid was just a story I used to tell people. I didn't really think about whether it was real or not.
该不会你都干嘛？你在说谎啊？
Morel's so proud of it. He always tells everyone.
A terrible sting in the heart. Regret.
你自己编出来的哈。
No, at least I don't think I did, but Morel was so eager to believe my story was evidence of the phasmid's existence. That I'm some queen of the cryptozoologists. That. And for years, his belief made me believe too. But now, we're both getting old, and he's still working himself sick out in those reeds looking for it. But what if I was just wrong?
对啊。
I think I was.
The lieutenant opens his notebook, but doesn't write anything.
I'm not sure of anything. Sometimes I still see it, you know. The real memory. Not the memory of the memory, but it's so hard to tell the two apart. Either way, I should go. Poor Morel is running a fever, and I need to get him home to Jamrock before we overstay our welcome with Gary. Oh no, thank you, but I can get there on my own. This old thing is gas-powered. And then a taxi home. It's not so bad.
Really?
Oh, sweetie. Please don't get stuck on a dream. Take it from me and Morel. Okay, it's 1113 Tabernacle Road. Jamrock, but...
A sigh. She doesn't think you'll need it.
Likewise, sweetie. Thank you for everything. Truly. Even though it turned out to be a
waste of time. A fool's hope. Say her lips moving in silence. Like that, she drives off. The gas engine putters quietly as she gets to the doors, then pushes them open. Outside, it's raining.
We should go too.
哦哟，也是一个很有内容的故事哎。啊，你们这两个家伙到底想干嘛
Yes.
你们两个到底想干嘛
Again?
啊，你们两个在这边是要干嘛？你讲一下嘛，讲一下啊。
Hi again, gendarme.
从容自若山，从容自
Bye bye,
若，
gendarme.
从容自若哦。我现在从容自若减1呢。不要穿这个衣，不要穿这个裤子啊。从容自若，从容自若。哎呀，这鞋子啊！好了，就这样子啊。
Hi again, gendarme.
我已经尽力了啦。
Could he be a member of the homosexual underground?
Homosexual 当然啦。
Just pointing it out. We're not talking about some kind of cult with members here. You made it up.
The homosexual underground?
Yes.
Why, yes, I am, officer. Why? Do you want to investigate? Oh, it's a pleasure group. A Sabrosa pleasure group congregating in cellars under the cover of night. Saturday night. Sometimes even Friday night.
当然集会就是大家一起搞
we're
啊。
ambitious. We want to destroy the last vestiges of meaning, the last things people in Rebishol have to hold on to, the true symbols of security. The meaning of man and woman, mother and father, their marriage. Everything will be constantly shifting and moving under our rule. The future will belong to a circus of identities just spinning around, surreal and unreal. You won't even know who you are anymore. But do you also like the razzle-dazzle of gold? Do you like parties and discos and having fun under the vibrant lights of Saturday night? Because instead of the traditional family unit, we're going to have all this razzmatazz. And mysteries, of course, too. Mysteries of sexual nature, very esoteric. And disco music and drugs. You can't just get into it. You have to be born into it. One is either already in the homosexual movement or forever excluded from it. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's exactly what we're looking for. Who knows, maybe you were homosexual in the past. Maybe all of that has been repressed. I have to say that you do look like someone who might be part of the underground. You have that very distinctive, I can't understand what's going on here look. Absolutely wonderful.
A man like you can figure out his sexuality in a working day. It won't be 20 hours unless you want to enter the heightened realms of the phantasme erotique afterwards. It may be 20 hours or more, but that would be on your own time.
Bye-bye, gendarme.
同性恋哦。干妈的，你们就是干嘛？ 恶心哎！哎，干，这个窗户是干嘛的
Behind the dock workers, a ceiling height window.
死鸡味道哦，那算了。死鸡味道。哎，你现在可以升级是不是？我有个点啊。 我现在要升级人工巧匠啦，收集2点，我去找这个人工巧匠。
Hola, wandering man.
好了，没有新的对话。 哎，我找那个人哦，看他有没有什么想法啊？我看他可不可以打架啦？你打架看可不可以？
The unpromising race pupil returns.
不能打架了。走开，走开！你这个箱子我可以拿吗？ 哎，我好像要打死他，我才可以拿那个箱子。谢。但是我现在没办法打他了。这有一个瓶子啊。呵呵。 这好像有个检定啊。
This is the night watchman's booth.
没有办法检定的。工巧匠学习上六。这个东西是什么？我打一下。
Before the cargo container. Its draw has not lessened since you were last here.
能言善道，能言善道，智力呢？看我加智力，能言善道，智力啊，香烟。 你看，它不能啊！它这个很奇怪啊、哦。你要先把香烟拿下来，然后你现在再装，你再装一次，它就可以抽了。很奇怪。然后呢？ 能言善道哈，我看一下，能言善道我这边没有，没有任何能言善道。能言善道。哎，可以啊。靠，就这样子啊。
You're back before the cut.
58号。我要拼这个东西，我要拼。
You're back before the cargo container. Why are you even trying to?
Why are you what? Now is not the time to get philosophical.
You're back before the cargo container. Despite the dirt that surrounds and trails, the door stands.
Satisfied, detective?
Try again. Just like that, you hear a click, then a rattle. The mechanism unlocks itself.
Ahoy! Come on in!
You can't be serious.
真的还假的啦？好厉害耶！哎，干！真的还假的啊？
Yes. Excuse me. You have a
moment passes. The lieutenant.
他妈的，哎！
The man stands at the far end of the shipping container. It's hard to say anything more about him. You cannot make out any of his details, but you do feel the overwhelming presence of capital.
Prison.
The feeling causes all the hairs on your body to stand at attention, like soldiers preparing for review. Something's amiss. The light beams bend around his face and scatter in 1,000 directions. It seems the laws of physics do not apply here. They are suspended, distorted, and echo. Trying to visualize the physics at play is liable to give you an aneurysm. Don't think about it too hard. In the general stillness, only your tongue moves, flickering as you utter.
Welcome. Come in. Make yourself at home. Sorry, I'm not better able to receive you. I wasn't expecting visitors today.
You can't hear him exactly, yet you're able to understand every word he says. It is very strange. An overwhelming hum covers everything. Voice doesn't escape from him.
Now, what can I do for you, gentlemen? Who am I? Oh, I haven't been asked that question for such a long time. I don't meet a lot of people outside my circle these days. Anyhow, my name is Rustam Diodor, investor, license holder, and extremely high net worth individual. And you are?
Mr. Diodor, I am Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi of the RCM, and this is my partner.
Pleasure to meet you, Harrier Dubois. I must admit, the name suits you very well.
你在这里做个干嘛？
Traveling. This is a great way to get around. It's fun, it's safe, and it gives me lots of time to think. By the way, let me now ask you a question. Where are we exactly?
In the very, very early days of colonizing this archipelago, the kingdom of Sirens, a precursor of a modern Sur-le-Clay, used to own the city of Revachol, an obscure detail in the bigger picture, but still worth dropping.
Obscure. Obscure.
Fellow history buff. I myself am currently reading up on Franco-Nigerian era trades. It's a shame I can't get out and explore myself. One of the downsides of being an extremely high net worth individual is that mobs of low net worth individuals are constantly banding together to ask for money. There simply aren't enough hours a day to handle all the handouts.
他的声音有经过那个音效处理啊，听不太出来他讲什么，这非常难听啊。
More spending money is a matter of desire. I'm sure you agree. I don't have the desire for spending it like that. Smart, no? It also provides a means to hide from all the targeted advertising where extremely high net worth individuals are constantly subject to luxury yachts, high fidelity portable radio systems, fail-proof outerwear, and so on. It just gets a bit middle class after a while. A bit bourgeois. Don't get me wrong, they are nice things, but once you achieve a certain level of wealth, your time and mental space become much more important than material goods. What? No, I did not say that at all. Being rich is great. Just don't tell anyone I told you that.
Oh Lord, not this again. Oh, nothing. It's just that we've got this murder to solve, and yet you go around asking everyone about money. And every time I ask, are you sure this is related to the case, you say, sure, Kim, I think it is. And yet, it never seems to get us any closer to solving the case.
It's quite alright. I'm used to the question by now. To be blunt, I inherited my fortune from my grandmother, who herself was an extremely high net worth individual back in Gra. All I did was take her fortune and invest it prudently. Believe it or not, it takes more than a bit of skill not to blow a vast fortune on sailing boats, bad choices, and
Actually, at the level this guy is, it takes several generations to do that. But, alright.
I gotta tell you, at first, being rich is a lot of work. You've got to work hard because everything
啊，你就是继承他妈的金条金汤匙出身，跟我讲那么多。
But then, once you've reached my position, it's nearly impossible for me not to make money. My assets are so diversified that I'm perhaps some of my lower net worth
你是巴菲特就是对了啊。
But doesn't that take all the fun out of it? And I tell them, not really. Precisely, Mr. Dubois. You know, I hear people talk sometimes about economic equality and fairness, but tell me, where would we be without liberalism? In caves, walking each other with bombs. A nightmare scenario, a world of slavery and violence. Which brings us
他的声音有那个频率的变化啊，低频的时候几乎听不出来什么。
The freedom of mankind can only be derived from the free flow. It is truly. It's almost entirely carefree. It really leaves you time to better yourself.
Hey, all this talk about money has made you lose the thread. What is going on with the light in this place? That's what you need to ask him about.
What do you mean? about my chin? Oh, that's what you mean. Yes, I've heard of this effect, though I've never witnessed it myself, of course. It has something to do with our Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient.
The Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient is a ratio designed to reflect the difference in net worth between individuals. When the coefficient is close to 1, or 100%, it means the Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient for you and this individual appears to be 0.9998, repeating. That's not good for you.
Among other things, but calm down. I'm but a lowly single-digit billionaire. No, not really. There are actually quite many digits.
I see nothing of the sort. To be frank, all I see is a gentleman who's unusually well dressed for Martinez, in a cargo container, which I admit is odd.
Yes, I imagine that does look strange to you. I can...
给我一点钱啊，讲那么多。
Could you please stop asking everyone for money? It does not reflect well on the RCM, and to be perfectly frank...
It's perfectly alright. Based on your appearance, I can tell I'm dealing with a smart man. As you may know, us high-net-worth individuals do not have a lot of cash on hand. In fact, here is 3 real. How much can you get for this? Yes, I'm sure. You know, maybe you can make that money grow. Come up with an investment plan. How's that sound? Thanks for stopping.
投资计划，好好笑。标新立异。哎，标新立异，我刚好智力有增加哎，赶快啊！我看有没有标新立异的衣服。标新立异，哎，标新立异啊！标新立异。这个啊，标新立异应该蛮多的吧？标新立异耶。 换衣服来增加自己的能力，真的也是蛮奇怪啊，也是蛮不酷的啦，我觉得。好，存档啊。
Gentlemen, what can I do for?
再抽根烟吧。智力有加1吗？智力有加啊。
Welcome back, gentlemen.
Deploying high concept buzzword generator. All systems functional. Ready to engage. It's time to disrupt the future. You've got to stay lean, innovative, and focus on what matters most. The children.
这么好心啊！
Come on, tell him what he wants to hear.
对。
Without children, who'll be there to buy stuff in the future? When life closes a door, it opens a window, yes? What's the expected return on this?
You're deep into ultra-liberal territory now. Good work.
Very impressive. You've got a natural eye for unusual investment. I don't normally do this without a formal pitch deck, but to hell with it. What's the point of being rich here, sir?
我靠，100耶！
This should be enough to prove out the concept and get things off the ground. Remember, it's not a handout.
The lieutenant stands there, dumbfounded. His mouth opens slightly, then closes again.
Dumbfounded.
Is he having a stroke?
怎么样？不赖吧？
I'm not unimpressed. Let's leave it at that.
Now, was there anything else I could help? The pleasure was mine. Unfortunately, I must be away soon. Farewell, friend.
走啦，我不会再过来了啦！骗到100块我就闪了，傻逼嘞！骗到钱就闪了啦，笑死我了！我有100块啊！ 你有什么话要讲吗？
Oh, hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's sure, mister. Absolutely.
好了，走吧，去挑战他了。应该说我去跟他完成任务了啊，看他可不可以把枪给我。Yes.
Mr. Dubois, every worker. That's right, Mr. Dubois. I see the socialist democratic fervor now burns in your heart, too. How can I help you today?
我把门打开了。
I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you?
不会啦。
He's trying to figure out if you're lying.
You're right, Harry. You only had to unlock the door, which you did. So we're all good here.
He was testing you, and you succeeded.
Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is gonna be good. By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flatcaps. Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries.
You mean our victim?
A security contractor? Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send hired killers to mow us down with machine gun fire?
He performs a motion as if spraying bullets from a machine gun.
Snitch.
I'm talking beasts, hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Saramaritsa, you name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages, killing little children for the Senorita Pineapple Company, Harry. Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant. Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container. About my fun container? It's a hoot, Harry. Who knows? Maybe you'll be in here the next time they move it. It will be very fun, I promise. But enough about me and my container. The killers the company hired, I think there were 3 of them. All hardened commando types. One of them got downright suicidal. Getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy. The one who likes hanging out and trees.
By negotiator, you mean Joyce?
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers.
你干嘛？为什么你忽略了他啊？
We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill. Potentially, Harry, potentially. We got arm wrestling champions, rowing club people, ex-coal miners, tough guys, all ready to spring into action for their home base. There's a militant wing inside the Union. A group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood, making sure everything runs smoothly.
Okay.
That sounds a bit like organized crime.
They're like you guys. Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen. And if they already have, well, punishment must follow.
Okay.
Again, that sounds like organized crime.
Okay.
So these idealists killed our victim?
Yeah.
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, socialist democratic fervor drove us to take it upon ourselves to kill this beast that was burdening the land."
Fiction.
He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid retaliation.
Okay. 让他们避避风头啊。
Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this?
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them.
He places a lot of faith in that lawyer girl. Perhaps this is a tactical error. Anyway.
How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. That's their MO. It's what they do. Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in Sediment, a security contractor. The strike was over the workers' right to wear protective footwear, Harry. These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company, after a little rebranding. And I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army of scabs under my gates.
So you believe the scabs were organized by the security contractor?
You said it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes. Of course, you're always one step ahead of me, Harry. I'm no genius. I'm in this position because people like me. Tribunal? That sounds serious, Harry. We Union men should be shitting ourselves. I wish you hadn't told me that. I'm gonna lose sleep over this. Let's change the subject.
He's clearly happy about the tribunal.
Oh, Harry, what do I really think about the tribunal? You're trying to climb to second base with old Everard before you've even courted him properly.
Everett。
He wants you to do more things for him before.
Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal.
Zeal.
Wait, the girl by the whirling, who was keeping an eye on you, is he talking about her?
最好别提啊。
Oh, and she also really likes gardening, I hear. In March? Strange. Anyway, let's move on. Oh, they are simply fine young men, all 7 of them. Exemplary union members, always working to advance their position in the local socialist democratic movement. Core members. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. Gotta love his initiative.
Interesting. Who's second in command?
They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they only had the best interests of Martinez and Revachol in mind. Work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are just like you. Men who like beer, women, and some order on the streets.
Okay.
He's betting on them being useless to you.
But of course, it's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. I'll do it right after we've concluded this talk.
You can now go and tell Titus about this. See what he has to say.
Also, Harry, here's 5 real. I'm not giving you anything. I'm just holding out 5 real.
收下吧。
The lieutenant watches you pocket the banknote. He looks a little puzzled.
Good boy. A real team player. Now, do you have any more questions? Was it a good tour? I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I even wanted to tell you what I really want to achieve with the strike. I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And of course, I also wanted you to find your gun. But it's like I can't completely trust you. Yet.
你不能相信我。
Yes, Harry. It's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left. I want to, but I just can't.
如果你不是左派的话。
A man of the left, so you have to be a social democrat. He's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats.
Just between us, I don't care for those lefty dinks either. It's all about power, and here's how we're gonna get it. I need you to be my kingsman, Harry.
你去你的。
And what would this entail?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta.
干嘛？
It depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare was very useful.
As I said, it weighs on me heavily. But once we get really talking, well, I'm gonna hand you the keys to Martinez, and maybe even help you figure out who's behind this killing.
马丁尼斯的教
He's
士。
saying as little as possible, as vaguely as he can, deliberately omitting things.
I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth center in Martinez. It will be righteous. We're gonna get those teenagers off drugs and on roller skates. There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures to get this mission off the ground, Harry. Yes, yes, the little cul-de-sac on the coast, where all the men have drowned, in either the sea or the bottle, a gloomy place, doesn't have that Union attitude. They are just gonna have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings. Right next to a fancy new youth centre, designed by the best architects from Stella Marie.
No.
Is he absolutely sure the tenants won't be thrown out in the street?
Am I? Harry, these people, Martinez is the most important thing in my life. I would never let anything bad happen to them.
No.
We're gonna build a youth center there. The value of their properties goes up and kids have a place to play in. I'm looking out for these people, not pulling the rug from under them, Harry. I'm looking out for all of Martinez, not just the harbor. Perfectly acceptable. No one's gonna force you into anything, but I don't know about that gun of yours. You see, I'm a vengeful man, Harry. Part of how I got where I am is that, well, I can be quite nasty sometimes. But the good news is, the moment you change your mind and want to look into this matter, just tell me, and we'll be buddies again.
Okay.
The lieutenant's eyes meet yours, and he shrugs.
Mega rich light-bending guy? Oh my god! How did that get in there? Damn it to hell, Harry! I specifically told my guys to check all the containers for mega rich light-bending guys. Honestly, Harry, we might be moving all kinds of suspicious things through this harbor, but I won't be caught transporting the light-bending mega rich. I have a reputation to protect. No, they're not. They're vermin, and one just found a way inside my container. Soon, he'll bring the others. All 3 of them. Thank you for telling me. I'll see to this immediately.
有3个哦。
I shudder to think what you're going to tell me next, Harry.
Not for 1 second did he believe there's an actual mega-rich person somewhere in his container town.
Most certainly, Harry. Nothing brightens by all means, Harry. What?
特酿.
Oh, how could I forget your little side project? Well done, Harry. Well done. Don't even tell me what it was. But good job. I love it when workers take the initiative like this. What? Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any Johnny Fat Guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this?
The reaction appears to be sincere, but it's impossible to tell with this guy, honestly.
Harry, you wound me, Harry, in the heart. But I trust you to put this to bed. Do what you must, and let's change the subject, shall we?
He's hiding his real reaction beneath courtesy.
Thank you for your understanding. We will continue to do what...
You too, Lieutenant. You know, I like you, but you never were my favorite. I'm a Harry guy. I'm Team Harry.
None taken. Did we have anything else to do here, Harry?
Ah, yes. Your side investigation. Thank you. You've got some spirit clearing up phony drug accusations alongside this murder. I'll talk to the mayor and see if I can get you the key to the city, Harry. Now let's talk real business.
Actually, Rivershell doesn't have a mayor. He refuses to discuss it further. It's probably just a small nuisance to him.
See you soon, Debarder. Just kidding, but not too much.
妈的，你这个家伙！死肥子啊！敲着算盘。
Oh, hey, mister. I'm not gonna bother.
哎呀，走了，这个没用啊。我可不可以用地图吗？不行，我要走啊。没差，我从这个货柜上面骗到100块啦，就不用再搞了。骗到100块就够了。瓶子捡了吗？瓶子可以捡吗？这瓶子可以捡妈的！瓶子应该按下 Tab 键，应该变成绿色的才对。何必考验眼力考验眼力没意思啊！回收一下吧。
The tear machine stands in the... Your bottles clunk into the machine.
那才一点点钱，干嘛一个加体力的好了吧？
A colorful display.
Again, I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health.
啦！哎呦，我靠，这个30块哦，好像很贵啊。贵，加体力的吧。
A small cabinet on the wall is filled.
Okay, here. I...
哦，我现在有2点呢。Kuno， 现在12点是不是
Fuck does Kuno care? Kuno doesn't.
Kuno care？ 这边要怎么进去？哦。这上面那边，我很快就要来决战了，决斗了。来这里，我来找他们一下。这个温室可不可以进去啊？
door is closed again. Nothing to do. You hear someone inside, walking from room to room.
出大孙大，进去啊！
The door is closed. You hear someone in.
这上面要怎么进去呢？这干嘛？偷袭你？ 还死小鬼！哎，我来跟 Joyce 讲一下，我看他有没有什么。哎，那个小朋友怎么那么讨厌 Joyce？ 是有什么事情？
Good. What can I love you did.
Fast, observantly, like an electronic printer. She is memorizing your badge number.
Shit.
Pleased to meet you, Lieutenant W. Freighter Dubois. I am glad to see a man of high qualification. The situation is precarious. What can I help you with, Lieutenant Freighter? I fear I've told you all I know. Is there anything else I can help you? Oh? A referral, you mean? I take it this was for someone in the RCM. Don't answer that. Oh my.
The lieutenant does not say anything, but you hear the nylon of his jacket rustle as he looks at you.
That's good to hear, Detective. Police work is rarely pretty, but it sounds like you did what you had to do.
Her bartering mind cannot fathom that you didn't ask anything in return.
Frankly, what was done was not pretty at all, but neither was it illegal, and it was not for nothing. I advise you to be very selective with what information you choose to share. This may have consequences beyond our line of sight.
Yes, that's the talk about town. The Hardy Boys, they're called. Find the name rather amusing, honestly. Misinformation. This is all because we haven't shared information on the lynching yet. See? Already the adversary uses it to their advantage. Don't let him. Hurry up on that probe. The moment you tell me you're finished at the traffic jam, I will gladly tell you the company's side of the story.
She must really want you to look into the drugs. Otherwise, she'd tell you.
How benevolent. Hopefully they'll help you sort this whole business out, if they haven't already.
While we appreciate your assistance, ma'am, I'm afraid we can't discuss the specifics of an ongoing investigation with you.
That is only fair. Oh my. Very interesting. So the militant wing is protecting one of their own.
Her mind races to the conclusion that most benefits her interests. That doesn't mean she's wrong, though.
It looks like you may untie this knot yet.
There's something in you that really likes the way she's looking at you just now.
Brinkmanship or saber rattling? Was he surrounded by Union men he wanted to impress?
No. It was more like he wanted things to get worse. In secret, of course.
Or he wants you and me to believe he wants to go to war.
There's always that risk, ma'am. But if I may offer my opinion, he means it.
I'll think it over, Detective. Thank you for relaying this information to me.
Have I underestimated the Union's ferocity? She has to ask herself by now.
What you've said is quite enough. You've given me a lot to consider, and may have helped me prevent this conflict from escalating. Of course, Detective. You can always drop by later, should something come up. Oh. Of course, Detective. You can... What we do...
There was a touch of discomfort. She nods.
Of course. Of course. How else can I help? Of course. Anything to help. I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
What is all of this?
What world? The only one, I suppose. The world of matter. And its pale antipode.
The camera of her mind glides over the surface of the water.
Great bodies of water. Forest-covered surfaces. Clusters of light where the cities lie. You've seen the montage. We all have. This world is enough.
It must be. This is the greatest and the kindest arrangement the atoms had in them.
Indeed. There is a Elysium.
Elysium.
There are those who would call it hell. A term of hatred that originates, like many such things, with the petro-fascists.
Fascist.
Oh, you want a picture of the world? There is no complete set yet, dear. They're having some trouble reaching orbit. Great things are difficult to achieve. For now, we're viewing the world from the inside, sideways. We used to think it was a sphere, but that is beginning to look less and less likely by the day. You wouldn't know it from the tabloids, but the ORG nations have been launching weather balloons into the lower isle.
ORG.
There's a steadily increasing trickle of images. Between the big three scientific contributors, they're piecing together a dark grey corona.
Corona.
Yes. Pale covers 72% of the surface. There are grey flares and prominences, even arcs above entire isolas. The images are blurry, but if there was a sphere in there, it certainly looks like it fractured a long time ago.
A cold fear seeps into you.
They say there is a rarefied envelope of matter surrounding the darkened disk of our planet. That is, if we are still living on a planet. Or, to speak more plainly, imagine vast swathes of land disrupted by nothingness. I am sorry, dear. It must sound quite terrifying through the acute encephalopathy. Even scientific positivism isn't entirely convinced about what we're dealing with here. But this is one of the greatest questions of our time. Maybe when they get the complete set together, it will jolt us out of our rut, bring us together, however naive it may sound. You have misimagined it. I don't have the power to convey to you the effect and geometry of the images that depict our world from below low orbit. It's like the crowning of the world. It's insane. Very disco. You'd love it. See, everyone finds something worth holding on to in this world, however wasted its opportunities.
The cold seeps into you. The air is heavy with 80% humidity. Suddenly, you're conscious of yourself standing there, on whatever this all is. Your arms hang down by your sides. The lieutenant observes you both, silently. He adjusts his glasses.
The Pale is not, technically speaking, part of reality.
Yes. Also, I think we've had enough excitement for today. We do have a case to attend to.
我们今天已经够刺激了。
Of course, Lieutenant. Let's try something else. I don't think your colleague would appreciate that. He has already been so patient with this whole exercise. Let's continue with something else, all right?
真的还假的？
You can ask about anything else in the world.
You could sneak back later when the lieutenant is not here, unless you can convince him to step aside.
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else? More lessons in basic reality. Glad to have been of assistance.
意志坚定啊！意志。好吧，先这样吧。下午了，今天有转货了呢。唉。 意志坚定，意志坚定，意志坚定。意志坚定啊！ 博学多闻加2，这个啦，靠，这是什么？领带欸。看坚韧不拔，不是跟意志坚定是一样的意思吗？好吧，储存一下。 意志坚定3呢。
You're back. Good. More lessons in basic reality.
73哦。
My favorite part of the day.
不然。
Glad to have been of assistance.
这是什么？心智啊，不然喝个东西好了。心智，伸手绝对不能哈，伸手了绝对是不能。快速啊，跟这个我绝对不行。 精神啊，这个啦，来用一下好了。你看，他一定要先空手，啊，然后再装，这样就可以了。哎呦！ 体力受损哎。
You're back. More lessons in basic reality.
Good idea. Just ask him. He won't make a scene.
Fine.
See? What can he do? You're a grown man.
Are you sure you're sure? Okay. The Pale is the most dominant geological feature of the world, Detective. The separative tissue between the islas. It is the inter-islary mass.
Islas.
Isla is a Messinian word for a continent of matter, enveloped on all sides by the Pale. Also, isolation, or landmass. We used to believe there was only one. In the last 4 centuries, we have discovered 7. Mundi, Seol, Samara, Ilmara, Grad, Katla, an oceanic isla. It comprises mostly of water. Muindi is the largest, Katla the coldest, Insulinde the bluest. What can I say? Each is perishing and dear. Achromatic, odorless, featureless. The Pale is the enemy of matter and life. It is not like any other, or anything in the world. It is the transition state of being into nothingness.
Okay,
the negation of being.
That's right. The negation of being. No, Detective. We're safe. It begins there, 6,000 kilometers to the north, and even more to the south, east, and west.
As your gaze instinctively turns north, a small black pit opens up in your stomach.
An uproar of matter, darling. Rising into the pale. Rolling. Evaporating even. A great vision. The area of transition between the world and the pale is called porch collapse. Imagine a grey coronal mist, cold vapor marked by spores of an opportunistic microorganism, a mold that's adapted to grow at the edge of the unrest. It's the most disco thing you will ever see.
You hear your pulse rise. The air feels caustic and cold suddenly.
It's difficult to describe, or even measure. Something whose fundamental property is the suspension of properties. Physical, epistemological, linguistic. The further into pale you travel, the steeper the degree of suspension. Right down to the mathematical. Numbers stop working. No one has yet passed the number barrier. It may be impossible. Oh, it is so difficult for us.
A squall of birds. Hardware operating in the harbor. Firm. Self-evident.
It is possible to force dimensions on the pale. In modern times, we can even compress its latitude, bouncing radio waves from one end to the other, shortening the path.
Latitudes.
But it is still hard for humans to navigate the pale without getting lost, or having our minds damaged. Extensively. Some say the damage stems from extreme sensory deprivation. Others argue that pale somehow consists of past information that's degrading, that it's rarefied past, not rarefied matter. They call it the blend over of the self. The pale does not only suspend the laws of physics, but also the laws of psychology, maybe history even. The human mind becomes over-radiated by parts.
Who says and who argues?
The logical positivists say, the dialectical materialists argue. It feels terrible.
It's more for her. Way more.
No, Lieutenant Dubois. I'm Entreprenetic Business Club.
Someone else you've met may have been exposed as well. The strange grey-haired woman in her lorry.
Yes.
You should ask that poor woman she's over-radiated.
Yes. Is this the first beyond curious? You really didn't know. Steel yourself, officer. Even if we have to do it one basic term at a time.
Good. You have not passed out.
I am happy to oblige. Glad to have been of assistance.
Fairweather T500. Remember that weakness you were looking for in the ceramic armor?
这个我不喜欢，我不要这个。我这个灰玉哈配偶这讲了一堆，这个跟主线没关系的东西哈，它竟然可以发展成这么厉害啊！我真的也是服了。同业链组织。
You're back. Good. More lessons in basic.
好了，我们不挑战了啊。
Glad to have been of assistance.
讲这个灰玉讲了一堆，我真的也是觉得我服了。我们先到这里吧。